Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to Robotics Notes Elite. We're out at sea. I think we're following Subaru's father right now. Unsure why, but I'm sure we'll find out here very shortly. In the previous couple episodes, calamity has truly struck. The climax of the story may actually be occurring right now in the attack that is following sort of what the Kimijima reports were leading us to. A lot of the things that were brought up in the reports seem to be matching up with things that we're being told and things that we're actually seeing. But also, are we actually seeing things correctly? Because there's a false reality that's being shared online and through the media. It's very interesting what's happening here. A lot of Chaos Head and Chaos Child stuff going on, mostly Chaos Head stuff, but regardless, a lot of that is kind of appearing here. Not explicitly, but a lot of it is very implied, and I'm seeing a lot of it here. Kind of helps that I recently did finish Chaos Head, so it is still a little fresh in my mind. A lot of it is very confusing, and I'm sure there's a lot more to really find out here, especially why we're at sea. The wind is more humid than usual. The sky is overcast with dark clouds. Looks like it's gonna rain. Expecting that, I click my tongue. If it was going to rain, I shouldn't have come out on the boat in the first place. I don't normally go out to sea at this hour. I go fishing well before sunrise, and I'm back in the harbor before noon. That's why I'm always at home in the afternoon or out drinking with friends. That's been the rhythm of my life ever since I became a fisherman 20 years ago. I didn't often break that rhythm to go out to sea in the middle of the afternoon. I choose this time in particular to go out here because no matter what I do, I always get emotional when I'm home with my son. I plan to go home after aimlessly fishing off the coast for about 2 hours. I've been doing this about 3 times a week lately. A month ago, my son had an accident while working on a giant robot. He is still getting treatment for his legs. He's undergoing rehab at the hospital. They still don't know if he'll ever walk normally again without crutches. I forbade him not once but twice from working on robots. When I heard that he still hadn't learned his lesson, I considered disowning him. There's that saying, right? 3 strikes and you're out. He was injured as a consequence of his own actions. He has no respect for his father. He went sneaking around behind my back not once but twice. I trusted him and tried my best not to step on his toes after forbidding him from such things last summer. But he came back and made me look like a damn fool. In the end, not only was he badly injured, he even caused trouble for others. Not only that, but one wrong move and he could have died. I'm his father. It makes sense that I wouldn't just let him do as he pleases. Have you considered letting him, do what he wants? Yeah, I mean, there's consequences for his foolish actions, and he saw that here, but, maybe be a supportive father, maybe? Almost unconsciously, I muttered to myself, I'm surprised by my own words. Why robots of all things? Am I lamenting my son's interests? Or am I questioning myself about why I'm so prejudiced against robots? Maybe I'm just stubborn. I never cared about robots to begin with. But when my son got into them and refused to listen to me anymore, I couldn't let it stand. The hanging fishing line hasn't moved for nearly an hour. Unlike when I usually go fishing, I haven't managed to catch anything decent. I never had much interest in angling, so you could say that I'm unaccustomed to it. But I don't care about catching anything, quite frankly. Lately, my son does nothing but go back and forth between his room and the hospital. He remains quiet during meals. He keeps his emotions below the surface. Even if I raise my voice at him, he just sits there completely still, quietly hanging his head. It's as though he has lost all passion for living, like he's just going through the motions. I never thought he would be so stubborn over giving up his interest in robots. Yes, for yourself. You're doing the wrong things and letting your son, or restricting your own son from doing what he wants to do. It's a healthy thing. It's just that, he made one wrong step. And he is being punished for it. But I don't know, you just let him do what he wants to do. It's his hobby, it's his passion. I do my best to convince myself otherwise and dispel the thought. When I sigh, a cold droplet of water collides with my cheek. It's starting to rain. Time to head back. I pull up my fishing line and get ready to withdraw. It's then that I happen to see something in the corner of my eye. Something's flying in the air. Is it a bird? This far off the coast? I raise my head puzzled, only to doubt my own eyes. What the fuck? What? What is happening? They're robots. Countless black humanoid robots over the sky.
Nanda? Arya?
Where did they come from? There wasn't a single trace of them a moment ago. All I can do is gulp as I gaze up at the bizarre sight. The end of the world. The thought runs across my mind. Wow, alright.
プロジェクトアトムの最終目的は太陽に干渉して人為的に太陽嵐を起こすことだ。
Yeah, that's sort of what we read about in the Kimijima reports. I was just going to mention that it is kind of nice that we're circling back a little bit towards Subaru's story because I've talked about this before. I'm happy that all the characters get some, of the spotlight. Obviously in the form of some routes for all the female characters, but Subaru is also a club member. He has a story to tell. So it's going to be interesting how all that plays out, and I wonder if he might have a hand in whatever the fuck is going to, end up happening, if he's going to have a hand in trying to fix it. I don't know how. I don't know how anybody can fix any of this.
その方法は君島レポートに詳しく書いてある。当然君なら知っているだろう。太陽嵐が運んできた太陽の大気とプラズマは超高速のジェット噴流として地球の磁気圏と衝突する。
Can we access our Pokecom? Nope.
それによって生じる可能性があるのが磁気再結合現象、磁気圏サブストームと呼ばれる現象だ。その地球磁気圏サブストームを人為的に起こす。
Yeah, a lot of this is beyond me. He's right. That's what's written in the reports.
それは太陽嵐の日ではない。極端な例えをするなら、地球が太陽フレアで直接炙られるようなものだと考えればいい。だが、その具体的方法については、君島レポートでは意図的に避けられていた。
君島公はその具体的方法を知らなかったんじゃないの？
いや。
Sawada lets out a small sigh. It's like he's tired of dealing with someone who doesn't understand his lecture. What does he expect from a rural high school student?
今から4ヶ月前、セルンからとあるものが何者かの手で盗み出された。
Wait, what?
セルン？
ヨーロッパ原子核共同研究機関。スイスとフランスの国境にある世界最先端の素粒子物理学研究施設だが。
Yeah, we know that they're not all that great of a group, but I have to wonder, what was stolen from them?
盗まれたのは極秘裏に開発されていた兵器 BHB ブラックホール爆弾の可能性がある。
Holy, that sounds incredibly dangerous from the name alone.
そのセルンって爆弾を作るような施設なの？
But now remember now, black holes were brought up in Steins Gate, but not for the use that you would think. They were used in the form of, well, getting messages across time, or, your memories and shit. So that has been brought up, just not in the form of a weapon. So I wonder about black hole bomb. The bomb, that sounds a little scary, but with what we know in regards to CERN and black holes, it's a little different.
違う。だが、設立当初からきな臭い噂はあった。300人委員会が裏で直接運営しているという情報は、私の仲間がもたらしてくれたものだ。かつては、タイムマシンも作ろうとしていたらしい。
Yeah. A time machine? Come on, this isn't some novel. Yeah, totally.
で、その BHB だが、一度爆発すれば、その場にミニブラックホールが形成され、周囲のあらゆるものを塵と残さず吸い込んでしまうという。炸裂した瞬間のエネルギー量は核兵器の比ではない。
Well, yeah, black holes, I mean, in the very brief and blunt sense of it, will literally just suck in everything and that's it. Like, there's no sense of destruction with it, but it's a sense of erasing it. Whatever it does with matter and all that is beyond me. I don't remember anything from Earth science or whenever I learned about all this stuff, but no, I mean, it's not like in some stories or bits of science fiction where you enter a black hole and you end up somewhere else or some shit like that. No, I mean, in a way, we don't really know what happens when we enter a black hole, but more or less, it's done. Like, you're gone, you don't exist anymore.
人の手に負える代物ではない。神の領域に踏み込むものだよ。
それを爆発させて虐殺しようっていうの。でもそれじゃ磁気圏サブストームは起きないよな。
そうだ。地上で爆破させるだけなら、せいぜい関東地方が消滅するぐらいだろう。
せいぜいってあんた。
彼らが考えていることはもっとえぐい。そして効率的だ。地上で使用するのではなく、宇宙で BHB を炸裂させようとしている。
I see. So they're not going to use, or so they are going to use the BHB to emulate a solar storm coming into contact with the Earth's magnetosphere.
通称、発火点と呼ばれる場所だ。それは地球と月のちょうど中間。地球からは距離にしておよそ13万キロの位置にある。太陽嵐と地球の磁気圏がぶつかる場所だ。そこで BHB が炸裂すれば、地球磁気圏にサブストームが起きるのはほぼ間違いない。それは地球全体を襲い、君島レポートにあった通り、50億人を殺すだろう。
Lovely. I can't help but gulp.
地球にはモノポールが降り注ぐかもしれないな。君の家の近所にある公園のように。
Damn, what doesn't this man know? This guy, he even knew about that.
その無数のモノポールは当然300人委員会によって管理され、人類は21世紀に新たな産業革命を迎える。
I guess as secret as I thought, we were being, I don't think we really were. I guess probably even the committee of 300 and other parties are completely aware of the actions that have been taken by Kaito.
それもプロジェクトアトムのシナリオに組み込まれている。今のこの混乱はすべて BHB を宇宙へ持っていくためのいわば目くらましでしかない。
BHB を宇宙へ持っていくって。
Wait, how heavy would a BHB even be? If it can cause an absurd disaster that affects the entire planet, something that powerful would have to be huge, right? I doubt it would be something you can carry in a rucksack. And with our current level of technology, we only have one way of sending stuff into space. A rocket. Ah, fuck. Oh boy. Okay, yep, that makes a little bit more sense. The puzzle pieces in my head start to fall into place, taking the shape of a black rocket.
まさか TNSC で今組み立て中のあのロケットを奪って。
察しがいいな。セノミヤに裏切られるまで私も確信が持てなかったが、今ならはっきり言える。彼らは BHB を種子島から打ち上げるつもりだ。
Lovely. Just fucking lovely. Alright, what's up, Misaki? Where are you at right now? By the time I enter the chief's office, the outcome has already been decided.
Misaki? お前
Site chief of the Tanegashima Space Center, Senomiya Kenichiro, sees my face and his eyes widen. 4 of my comrades have guns pushed up against him. He's standing frozen still in front of his table. On top of said table is a single teacup and some pastries. I look at them and can't help but laugh at myself.
父さん、悪いけどあなたを拘束させてもらうわ。
Who would have thought that this would be our first exchange in so many years? I certainly didn't expect this when I left the islands 7 years ago. I didn't expect this at all, even if this was inevitable. As far as missions go, the assault on the Tanegashima Space Center was an easy one. It's not a military facility, so the security in place might as well be decoration. They stood no chance against Kaminagi with myself on board, or the 12 armed soldiers equipped with black military hugs that came with me. We made a fairly showy and imposing landing on the coast, and within 10 minutes of issuing our warning, everyone had fled. Should any futile resistance present itself, we would be forced to go around and kill everyone one by one. I guess this absolutely explains the scene with Misaki and with the background noise of water and how she was talking about how it's swaying back and forth and whatever. Yeah, she was out to sea already. It's far more efficient for them to flee like they did. Their escape matters little. All means of communication between the island and mainland have been severed. No ships or aircraft will be leaving. Yep, we read that on Twitter. Even if they leave by private boat and seek help from the JSDF in Okinawa, they won't be able to do anything, or at least I'm pretty sure we read that on Twitter. But while we let everyone escape, my father, the chief, stayed behind by himself.
みんなを逃がすために所長である自分だけが残ったというところかしら。立派だけど、そういうのは犬死にというのよ。
どうしてお前が
It seems that Dad has forgotten that there are guns being pointed at him. He tries to draw closer to me, a dumbfounded expression on his face. I click my tongue and press my handgun against his head.
動くな。動けば殺すわ。
Dad stops in his tracks.
説明してくれないか。どういうことなんだ。
知る必要はないわ。ロケット組み立ては終わっているのよね。
ああ、終わっているが。
あれを使わせてもらうわ。
Right now, launch sites all over the world are preparing rockets for launch. It's a total coincidence. Due to reports detailing the high chance of a solar storm hitting in 2019, rocket launches were delayed worldwide. Then in November of last year, the storm arrived as expected. After that, countries all over started making launch preparations, so the timing ended up lining up. Tanegashima is no exception. The private company that requested this launch placed their order with JAXA right after the Earth was hit. Everything was proceeding perfectly according to plan. Simply put, we got to pick whichever launch site we wanted. The BHB is now in our hands. We brought it ashore with us, and we can put the payload aboard anytime. To get the cargo on board, we even brought a man involved in rocket assembly work for NASA. He can finish the work in a little over a day. X hour for launch will likely be the day after tomorrow at noon. Wow.
一体何が目的なんだ。
あのロケットはプロジェクトアトムの肝となる。今後発射を妨害しようとする者は容赦なく殺すわ。
ロケットをテロに使おうというのかね。
Yeah, kinda.
我が国の宇宙開発を血で塗りたくるつもりとは。美咲、お前はいつからそんな子になってしまったんだ。お前はこんなことをするような子じゃなかっただろう。ロボットが好きでロケットの打ち上げを見るのが好きな優しい女の子だったじゃないか。なのに父さんが誇りに思っているこの場所であの射程から打ち上げるロケットをテロに使おうというのかい。
そうよ。
Noticing how weakly he's trying to argue with me, I reply with cold words. I want him to shut up. He's fallen to his knees, crestfallen, his shoulders dropping low. And yet he's still trying to lecture me.
どうしてここなんだ。分かってるのかい、美咲。この島はお前の故郷なんだよ。
分かっているわ。でもここを選んだのは私がたまたまあなたの娘だったから。ただそれだけよ。恨みも何もない。
It was the simplest option, nothing more, nothing less. I've never been to launch sites in America or Russia. I am, however, intimately familiar with the TNSC, considering it was only a 15-minute drive from my old house by scooter.
お前は本当に美咲なのかい。
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering that myself, but yeah, I don't know. This is the only Misaki that we've seen recently. Well, other than whatever the fuck we saw there at the expo. I don't want to continue this conversation. I give my 4 comrades the signal and they proceed to restrain Dad.
父さん、 悪いけどしばらく監禁させてもらうわ。安心して、殺しはしない。計画が成功したらすぐに釈放する。どうせ成功すれば50億人が死ぬ。その中に私や父さんだって含まれるかもしれないんだから。
美咲、やめろ。やめてくれ。ロケットは平和利用しなければならないものなんだ。それが JAXA の精神なんだ。子供の頃から私を見てきたお前ならわかるだろう。
This is actually kind of sad, based on how we've seen their father. And now, you know, it's a really rough situation. Kind of reminds me of Steins Gate a little bit.
だから頼む。
After all the
そんな
peace,
恐ろしいことのため
all
に
the kindness.
ロケットを使わないでくれ。美咲、聞いてくれ。頼む。
Dad continues to try to appeal to me, so I draw close to him.
騒がないで。見苦しいから。
I thrust my fists into Dad's stomach. Was he always such a small person? Has he thinned out over the last 7 years? I want to ask if he's eating properly, but that's personal business, so I elect not to. As Dad groans in pain, my comrades drag him out of the room. Left alone in the chief's office, I take a look around. On Dad's desk is a Fink toy. Several months before graduating high school, I made one for everyone in the family. I reach my fingers out toward it, but the moment I'm about to touch it, my Pokecom begins to ring. I left video chat on for the mission. I open my Pokecom and unmute it. There's no image, it's voice only. Oh, shit, my bad. Sorry. Ruining the moment.
ポイントベータに到達。これより制圧行動に入る。
了解。ポイントアルファは制圧完了。
I look out the window. Dark clouds stain the sky black. It looks like it's about to pour any second now.
雨は嫌い。
When it rains, rockets can't be launched after all. When it would start raining near a scheduled launch day, my usually calm dad would turn anxious and frustrated. I hated how it felt being around him when he was like that. If the launch got postponed, nobody in the family would be able to talk to him. So whenever a launch drew near, Aki and I would make little Tero Bozu dolls together. Let's just say that nobody on Tanegashima could compete with our Tero Bozu crafting skills. I don't even know what the fuck that is. That's beyond me. I'm probably acting like this because even after 7 years, nothing here has changed.
あさっての天気予報は
I speak out to no one in particular. There's nobody in this room but me right now, or so I thought.
あさって2月28日の屋久島、種子島地方の天気は晴れでしょう。
The same forecast as when I checked earlier. It's going to rain tomorrow, but the day after that will be sunny and clear.
降水確率は 10% です。
天気予報はもっと嫌い。
The center of my head starts throbbing in pain. Yeah, by the way, I'm not really surprised about Sister Centipede being here, though I am curious. What's going on? I can't help but clutch my forehead as I grit my teeth.
今もそこに立っているのね。ゲジね。
In the back of my mind, I have flashbacks of that day. It was a terribly hot and humid summer night. The night sky was bright as if it was lit up by the sun itself. I was covered in sweat. Sister Centipede, not Irie, looked at me emotionlessly. Saying nothing, she stared at me. Everything was decided on that day 9 years ago. That was the day that I was possessed. The day I was contaminated. And what happened? Tell us a little bit more, please.
世界の主要なロケット発射台が1週間以内の打ち上げを計画していることを知っているか？
It's not just the TNSC.
ケープカナベラル、バイコヌール、ギアナ、シュセン。
Alright, we got some tips to read. What do we got? It's been a while since we've read a tip. I haven't been reading these, apparently. So this satellite launch center is a rocket launch station located on the outskirts of the city of Sichuan, or however you pronounce that, in the Gansu province of China. It was originally used as a test site for launching ballistic missiles. This space center is a rocket launch station located in French, I don't know this one, Guiana, South America. It is operated by the CNES, the National Center for Space Studies, the Baikonur Cosmodrome, yes, a Russian spaceport located in, I don't know. I do not know. I don't know how to pronounce anything anymore. Tiratam, Kazakhstan. It was built during the Soviet Union, but after the collapse of the Soviet Union, Russia began testing it from Kazakhstan, paying a fee for its use. It is the launch site where the world's first artificial satellite, Sputnik 1, and the world's first manned spaceflight, Vostok 1, were launched. And the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. It's an Air Force base located in Florida. It is used as a rocket launch site alongside the adjacent Kennedy Space Station. While the Kennedy Space Station is responsible for launching piloted space shuttles, the Cape Canaveral site is used to launch unmanned rockets. Sorry guys, I'm like really fucking up my pronunciations. But what's new?
そして日本、種子島。宇宙開発の歴史上、こんなことは初めてだ。
Yeah, there's a lot going on, it seems.
これまで一度としてなかった。
仕組まれたものだっていうの。
いや、そうじゃない。むしろこれは全くの偶然だ。去年の太陽嵐の到来に起因するな。
Yep, as we just learned, it basically set everybody up for wanting to do
こ
launches.
の偶然に彼らは目をつけた。そもそもその5カ所で打ち上げられる予定のロケットには彼らの何らかの関与があると睨んでいたんだが、どれだけ調査してもその痕跡は全く出てこなかった。どのロケットもクリーンすぎた。そこから推測した。彼らは5カ所のロケットのどれか一つを打ち上げ直前に奪い利用するつもりだと。5カ所のうちどれが本命なのかずっと絞り込めずにいたんだが、今日の瀬宮の行動ではっきりした。本命は種子島だ。おそらく今 BHB はあの島にある。
A chill runs down my spine. A bomb powerful enough to wipe out the entire Kanto region is on the island. If that's true, if it were to explode on the surface due to any kind of slip-up, the entire island would be wiped from the face of the earth. Mom, Dad, and everyone I know is on that island. All of the former members of the Robotics Club are in danger. Frau, Juna, and Subaru.
JAXA の人たち、また打ち上げができるってあんなに喜んでたのに。
おそらく今頃種子島宇宙センターは敵の支柱だろう。
警察に連絡して。いや、警察じゃダメだ。自衛隊を出してもらって。
無駄だ。遅すぎたんだ。
遅すぎたってどういう。
今世界中で情報が遮断あるいは捏造されているんだ。この状況で種子島のロケット打ち上げを止めろと政府に訴えたところで自衛隊は動かない。在日米軍にしても同様だろう。この混乱だ。回線はつながらないだろうし、つながったとしても冗談だと受け取られる。事実、私も自衛隊の基地に直接かけてみたが全く相手にされなかった。
They're loading a black hole bomb onto a rocket in order to launch it into space. It wouldn't matter how you went about telling anyone, be it face-to-face in a call, in a letter, or whatever. There's no way they would take it seriously. Yeah, especially with all this chaos going on. And yeah, misinformation. I'm sure a lot of people are realizing that, you know, there's a lot of misinformation floating about. It's hard to tell what's real, what isn't. So yeah, nobody's gonna fucking believe anything. It'd be impossible to get away or to get anyone to believe something that batshit and crazy.
現政権の防衛大臣とは何度か会ったことがあるから直接電話してみたが全くつながらない。
I think I was gonna say insane, but then I read crazy and I was like, ooh.
他に阻止する方法は直接乗り込むことだが、あの島はここからでは遠すぎる。羽田からチャーター機を飛ばすよう手配することはできるが、連絡手段がない。
All planes are grounded. The train lines have all been stopped. The highways seem to be totally gridlocked. A ship would take too much time. There's no way to travel from Tokyo to Tanegashima in such a short period of time. Was this the Committee of 300's goal all along?
ミサ姉が瀬宮美咲が首謀者なの。
Sawada glances at my face. He hasn't attempted to smile even once this entire time.
間違いない。
The fact that he sounded slightly apologetic only further irritates me.
ミサ姉についてあんたは何を知ってるんだ。なんでミサ姉がこんなことを。それにさっきのミサ姉はなんかおかしかった。あの雲みたいな大型ハグに乗ってたはずが忽然と姿を消したらしいし、あんたが撃った銃弾でもかすり傷一つ負わなかった。
Because she wasn't actually there.
俺が会ったミサ姉は幽霊みたいだなあ。あのミサ姉は本物だったの。
会場に現れた軌道エレベーターの幻影と同じだと私は考えている。肉眼で見ることのできる AR アノテーションのようなものといえばイメージできるか。具体的なことは君島レポートにも書いてあっただろう。 VR 技術と呼ばれるものの応用だと推測している。おそらく君たちが聞いた瀬宮の言葉もあらかじめプログラムされていたものだろう。
Which is probably why it was pretty much set up for Akiho only, not Kaito. It would be easy to communicate with Akiho, but with Kaito, he's got too many questions to ask. There's no way that she could actually prepare for that. So, she just got something simple set up for talking with Akiho.
そしてスメラギに乗り込むように見せかけた。
なんでそんな面倒な真似を。
それは私も疑問に思った部分だ。スメラギという機体は生身で装着できるものではない。
What in the world is that supposed to mean?
あれはハグを装着した人間がさらにその上から装着するという仕様になっている。神凪と呼ばれる特別なハグを身につけた者だけがスメラギを追加装着できるのだ。神凪は搭乗型ハグと分類している。全高は約5メートルになる。
A 5-meter hug? And what does he mean by pilot type? I can't even visualize what it would look like.
その神凪が乗れるようスメラギのコクピットは設計されている。
でもフィンガーなんちゃらシステムがあって指だけで操縦できるって。
操縦は FOS で行うが、あくまでスメラギはコンセプトモデルだ。神凪とワンセットで開発された。それが理由だ。汎用性は今のところない。神凪装着者でなければ認識はされず起動もできない。この会場でネットワークにつながっていたわけでもない。完全なスタンドアローンだったと認識している。他に可能性があるとすれば、現場スタッフの中に瀬宮の仲間がいたということか。そいつがプログラムをいじって暴走するように仕向けた。いずれにせよ瀬宮があれに乗ったと観客に見せつけたのは悪趣味なオナニーとしか思えない。まるで何も知らなかった私に対する牽制か挑発にも感じる。
How much has Akiho suffered because of that one decision alone?
じゃあ本物のミサ姉はどこに。実はとっくの昔に死んじゃっててずっと AR アノテーションみたいな状態で生きてきたとか、そんなことはないよね。
I consider the possibility that she only exists on the internet like Irie and I shudder. The Misane that I've always looked up to. The Misane who Akiho loves. I don't want to believe this is possible. But it's true that I haven't seen her in person in 7 years. I have no evidence that she's still alive.
少なくとも私は3日前に社で瀬宮に会っている。その時の彼女は間違いなく本物だった。
なんでそんなのわかるんだよ。
ハグの新しいボディースーツを試着してもらった。それは社が用意したものだ。来た時には女性スタッフが同席して着せるのを手伝ったし、私もその後で話をした。
だったらその本物のミサ姉は今どこにいるんだよ。
Sawada shakes his head lightly.
可能性が高いのは種子島か。
Yep. Misane is on Tanegashima. That's way too ironic. She hasn't been home in 7 years.
ミサネがプロジェクトアトムの首謀者なの。ミサネが300人委員会や旅ストック研究所とつながってるの。
おそらくセノミヤはコマだ。
コマ。
Yeah, I mean, that makes most sense. It's what we've seen in the past, too, in other games. A device meant to be used and subsequently discarded. There is no way I could believe that. I've had enough of this bullshit. I whisper to myself and take a deep breath. I want a space candy. They always help me focus.
気づいたよ。
何？
あんたの言ってることはただの陰謀論でしかない。妄想の一言で全部片付けられる。何の証拠もない。あんたの言ってることこそ捏造だ。俺を惑わそうとしてるんだ。洗脳とかプロパガンダとか。あんたが俺にこんな詳しく説明してるのは全部それでしょ。旅ストック研究所の指示だったりするんじゃない。君島レポートをばらまいた俺は連中にとって目の上の単行部だからさ。
I mean, I will admit that it is weird that he is actually, explaining all of this in great detail while his leg is injured and all that, but I don't know. I mean, what does he have to lose? He probably has already accepted defeat.
手たらめな話をして俺を錯乱させようとしてるんだ。
I don't know if that's necessarily the case, though.
そんな手には引っかからない。引っかかるもんかよ。
You know, as evil as he looks, I don't really know if that's the case.
あんた300人委員会の側の人間だ。俺の敵だ。君島光や小郡南を殺したように俺も殺すつもり。ミサネをどうしたんだ。今すぐ居場所を教えなよ。
Despite my threatening attitude, Sawada remains unfazed. That composure of his pisses me off, so I grab him by the collar.
答えろよ。
I don't care if Sawada's leg is injured. I raise him up by the neck. Sawada's face contorts slightly as if he's in pain.
確かに私の父ミゲール・サンタンブロッチオは旅ストック研究所の特別顧問だ。それだけではない。300人委員会の一人でもある。
Oh, and it's, he just happens to know this, like, with absolute certainty.
やっぱり。
だがそれはあくまで父の話だ。むしろ私は300人委員会に反旗を翻すものだ。
デタラメを。
そう思われても仕方がないのかもしれん。そうだな。私の背中には父が放った刺客に殺されかけた時の50センチほどの傷跡があるが、見るか。
やだね。そんなもの何の証拠にもならない。
それなら仕方がないな。さっさと殺すといい。
なんだよ。どうせできないとか思ってるの。バカにしてあんたを殺すことぐらい俺にだってできるさ。俺にだって。
To put blood on our hands, like Misaki, that like how she did back in the past, I'm pretty sure she's the one that killed Kimijima. I mean, everything kind of lines up toward it. I mean, come on, that CG with her hands covered in blood, I mean, come on. And we've seen her bloodied and mudded up a little bit during the night where that, incident occurred. I mean, I don't want to say there's parallels here, but no, I feel like killing somebody here would not put us on the right path at all. Sawada isn't resisting anymore. In fact, his face is already going pale. I snap to my senses and release him from my grip.
育児なしだな、君は。
くそ。
I'm pathetic. I knew I didn't have it in me to kill someone.
君が私を疑いたくなるのもわかる。私は300人委員会に近すぎたゆえに彼らに嫌悪感を抱くようになった。彼らを野放しにしておくことなどできなかった。もっとも私程度の力では彼らを潰すなど夢のまた夢ではあるがね。 それでもコツコツと続けていけばいつかは彼らを打倒することのできる大きな力へと育っていくかもしれない。こんな私に賛同し共に戦ってくれる者もそれなりにいる。全員が300人委員会による恐るべき陰謀に気づき、それによって殺されかけ抵抗するようになった者たちだ。君は聞いたことがあるかどうかわからないが、そのメンバーには疾風陣雷のナイトハルトやダルザスーパーハッカーなどがいる。
Nah. No, no. I don't have a clue who those people are, and I don't care. Wait, is he... He's not... Oh, okay, wait. I was like... Is he talking about those that are on the committee? No, okay. Those that are opposing the committee. Okay. Now I understand. Oopsies. I read wrong.
あんたさっきミサ姉はコマだって言ったよね。じゃあ知ってるんでしょ。ミサ姉をコマとして使ってるのは誰なの？プロジェクトアテムの首謀者は何者なんだ？
ここまでの話を理解したなら、それが誰なのかはわかるはずだ。
もったいぶらなくていいからさ、とっとと教えてよ。一体そいつは誰なんだ？
わからないのか。いるよ。幸せ for you、 ヒドゥンハンド、種子島、瀬宮美咲、アネモネ号、電磁波照射実験、モノポール、エグゾスケルトン社、プロパガンダ、2020年の太陽嵐到達というご情報、300人委員会と旅ストック洗脳研究所。
は？
すべては君島レポートとつながっている。
Right. And suddenly, just like that, only one name surfaces in my mind. My hair stands on end.
まさか。
Sawada weakly nods his head before continuing. Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. So... Is Kimijima Ko actually dead? Is Frau's mother dead?
プロジェクトアトムを立案し、今まさに実行している首謀者の名は君島こうだ。
Damn, we can't even believe if people are actually dead in this shit.
君島こうは生きている。
So he faked his death. He made it seem like... Oh, shit. Uh-oh. What up, Frau? He made it seem like he died, spread these reports in a way that was convincing enough, at least to me. It made it look like that he died, and yeah, there's this massive conspiracy going on. That he predicted everything, but no, they weren't fucking predictions. They were plans. He planned it all out. Obviously, the Solar Storm deal, I don't know, but to use things in this specific way... Where the fuck is... Where is Kimijima Ko? It wasn't at his little home. After finally arriving upon the info, I chew on my nails in front of my monitor. The information is as follows. The old Minamitane Community Center should be abandoned, but a company bought it in secret and pays the electric bill. It's a small company in Tokyo called Taiyo Development. Due to them paying the bill, the device used to make monopoles fall, the EM wave irradiation device, continues to function, and it's on the first floor of the building. Oh, and another thing. Kimijima Ko's vacation home. It was similarly abandoned, but Iritan's cold sleep device continued to function in the basement. I mean, somebody had to be, footing the bill. That's a lot of electricity for that shit. And, well, it kind of makes sense now, huh? I investigated who was paying the electric bill, and it seems a company called Commit bought the old place. I wouldn't be a real @channeler if I didn't immediately rush to investigate the two companies for anything in common. The Special Forces Division, aka just me, was fully mobilized. I stayed up all night to heavily look into things. As far as what I found, well, Taiyo Development is a construction/engineering firm. Commit Company is in the restaurant consultant industry. You can call it Comet, Commit, I don't know. Actually, Comet's 1M, so I guess it is Commit. But they're both shell corporations. There There are no buildings for them, and at the registered address, it was easy enough to investigate from Tanegashima using the Street View function in a row. While it initially looked like both companies had nothing in common, both being shell corporations instantly changed things. I thought that the company director for both companies might be the same person, but that wasn't the case. But as I did further research, I found that both companies received loans from a lease company called Hoshita. What kind of shell corporation would take out a loan? On top of that, Hoshita's special advisor was a deputy director and joint investor at the time of Happiness 4U's founding. Their name is Hoshita Sakai. TLDR, the money used to maintain Kimijima Co.'s crap on Tanegashima came from his old acquaintances via shell corporations.
熱い友情来たこれ。これは薄い本のネタにできるな。で、そんなわけあるか、そんなわけあるか。大事なことなので2回言いました。きな臭いにも程があるだろう。
Oh shit, here we go. Someone pressed the intercom button outside. Is it the glass company? Ever since they replaced all the broken glass in November, a dealer comes by once a week. It's extremely annoying. Nobody else should be dropping by. Yashio Senpai and Prez Senpai are in Tokyo doing scandalous things together, and Tracksuit Sensei went with them. Karate Senpai is screwed up mentally, and Four Eyes can't move due to his busted legs. Okay, then who is it? Whoever they are, they're mad impatient.
フラン、誰か客が来たみたいだぜ。出た方がいいって。元気に挨拶だ。
Shut up, Genki-kun bot.
ほら、鳴ってるぜ。出るのが友達ってもんだろ。
インターホンカメラ表示して、ロゼッタタン。はい、
表示いたしますね。
Well, here we go. The first floor entrance. I take a look at the camera feed, but nobody's there.
誰もいなくね。ピンポンダッシュは許さない。絶対にだ。
友達なら、時にはぶん殴ることだって重要だぜ。
Unless they're already inside.
元気くんうるさい。
Whoever it was. They're inside, I think. Well, the power's out, but yeah, they might be inside. It all happens instantaneously. The second I hear a gunshot outside my door, two men holding guns quickly come charging into the room. Without time to even make a sound, my arm gets twisted behind me, and I'm pinned to the ground. Looks like this is the squad with Misaki. I can't even raise my head. Moving my neck even slightly causes an intense pain to run down my locked arm. I can't see what the men look like. It hurts too much and I'm too scared. I feel like I'm about to scream, but I grip my teeth and force myself not to.
フラン、友達でも喧嘩するときはしていいんだぜ。
Genki-kun's carefree voice rings throughout the room.
でも、
Good thing we still have power, I guess.
後腐れなく仲直りしろよな。それでこそ本当の友達ってもん。
Someone smashes my Pokecom screen with the butt of their gun. Genki-kun goes silent on the broken screen.
ターゲット B を確保、拘束する。プリースト3、状況は？プリースト3、プリースト4、そちらの状況を知らせ。どうした？見張りの2人が応答しない。
The two men go silent in their confusion. They still have their guns pushed against the back of my head. I'm scared shitless. My teeth are chattering from the fear. I'm worried that the sound will anger my captors, so I bite down as hard as I can. I'm biting down so hard that it feels like I'm going to start bleeding.
ターゲット B を起こせ。出るぞ。起きろ。
They pull me up by the arm. Pain shoots through my joints, causing me to tear up.
プリースト3、プリースト4、応答しろ。
Not tear, but tear.
プリースト3、どうしたんだ？
呼んでも出ないと思いますよ。
Hey yo, wait, hold on a minute. My arm is suddenly released and I hit the floor. Now on my hands and knees, I raise my head slightly. I look toward the entrance of my room where the new voice came from. And standing there is...
下にいた2人なら一眠りしてもらいましたので。
Tenujishi.
何者？
I mean, should we be all that surprised? I mean, come on. Her movements are almost light speed. Given how she acts normally, her current reaction speed is unbelievable. In a flash, she closes the distance between herself and the two strong men that had their guns raised. She slams her knee into the first man's face, riding her momentum from earlier.
こんな
Unshaken by the fate of his comrade, the other man points his gun at Tanegashima, but she's already at his chest. She grabs the man's gun arm and spins around to his back, slamming her heel into the Achilles tendon. As the man falls onto his back, Tanegashima drops her knee into his face without a moment's hesitation. The brawny man's body quivers for a moment before going limp. The man who suffered a knee to the face groans as he tries to get up, but Tanegashima is too fast for him. She plants a roundhouse kick into the defenseless man's jaw. Flawless victory. And just like that, both men are sprawled across the floor unconscious. Holy shit, that was amazing. How? How is she so strong? What was that just now? No matter how you look at it, she has to be a manga heroine. I'm not accepting any other answers, thank you very much. In a matter of seconds, she put down two heavily armed adult men without as much as a scratch. She's completely OP. I'm so incredibly excited that I sink to the floor with stars in my eyes.
男の人が二人がかりで女の子に暴力振るうなんて最低ですよ。
As for Tanegashima, she seems pretty upset. But as soon as she notices my gaze, she reverts to her usual self with a smile.
もう大丈夫です。強いでしょ？お父さん直伝の格闘術なんですよ。
Yeah, not all that surprising, I think.
さて、ここからどう反撃したものか。
I have no clue what's going on, but there is one thing I'm certain of.
あえて言おう。苗様であると。
I'm not exactly the Yuri type, but I'd be totally down to let Nai-sama have her way with me. Screw it, take me right now. It's not really the time for that, come on.
君島公が生きているだって。
Yeah, we did just hear that, and then we went into all of that crazy shit, and now we're back here. And we can access our Pokecom. At times like this, the street view mode on Iro is handy. I mean, who upped the picture of Odaiba anyway? If the buildings were destroyed that badly, people at the venue might be dead. Plus, there's a solar storm, but somehow the whole thing was uploaded normally? Hoshita Sakai, who was that again? I think I heard of him. Everyone please come home safe. Where is Mitsuhiko, excuse me, it's Michi, wandering around? My senses tell me this smells very fishy. Well, Doc, you're absolutely right about that one, that's for sure. And I guess we got a tip to read. I mean, Shell Corporation, it makes perfect sense what that means. A company that is registered but has no active business operations. I mean, when you think about it, Shell. A shell is, could be pretty empty in there. Such corporations are not illegal, but they are often used for fraudulent purposes such as tax write-offs and tax evasion. And we know what standalone means. This has to be a joke. What else could it be? I force out a smile.
ありえない。だって
Is it though?
君島公が死んだのは俺の地元でニュースにもなったし、遺体だって警察が調べた。
Okay, but hold on. We've heard so many, fictional and non-fictional stories in our lives, right? Of people faking their deaths for who knows what reason. I mean, I didn't see it directly. I was still a kid at the time, but I just happened to be hospitalized. But when I first found the Kimijima Reports, I went to the town library to look up newspapers from that time.
私もその証拠を得ているわけではない。だが、考えれば考えるほど、探れば探るほど、君島公は生きているとしか思えないんだ。
新聞に載ってたんだ。君島公の遺体が見つかったって。アネモネ号事件の2週間後ぐらいだった。アネモネ号の
Kimijima Code died around the same time that the MF Anemone incident took place. Why didn't I realize until now that these two incidents occurred so closely together?
さっきも言ったはずだ。
Wait, so who did Misaki kill?
アネモネ号事件は
If she actually killed
電磁波
somebody.
照射実験だと。
Or maybe Kimijima Ko really is the culprit, but he's also dead. He set a lot of things into motion. He's a smart man. Shit, he was able to put somebody in a frozen state and they were actually able to wake up 10 years later. I mean, come on, the man's a freaking genius. I'm sure that, for whatever reason, he could have thought this far ahead and offed himself in the process, allowing things to take place exactly how he planned them.
主導したのは
But what was his, reasoning? Even if he is alive. Hold on, wait, that seemed important. Oh, okay, wait. Yep, that is very important. Jesus Christ.
旅ストック研究所が生み落とした一つの到達点だ。
Is he saying Kimijima Ko is a member of the Institute?
人々
Not
を
surprising.
洗脳するためだけに作られた沈黙の兵器。それが君島光という男なんだ。
放送を垂れ流すのはやめろ。あの男は10年近くも前に死んでるんだって。
君は踊らされたんだ。
Sawada raises his voice for the first time. Well, yeah, he's probably tired of this shit.
だってそんなのさ、めちゃくちゃじゃないか。つまりさ、こういうこと。俺が苦労して集めて世界中のみんなに警告するために拡散した君島レポートは全部デタラメ。羽モネ号事件は君島コード、そのコマであるミサ姉が起こした実験。そんなの信じたら俺おかしくなっちゃうじゃないの。
Both of them were behind the incident the entire time. There's no way.
ああ、頭がどうにかなりそうだよ。だからさ、嘘だって言ってよ。今までの話は全部あんたの妄想だって、そう言ってくれよ。
Yeah, this shit is pretty fucking nutty. The world I believed in up until now has been turned upside down. The people I believed in up until now, if this is all the truth, then I don't want to know the truth anymore. Ignorance is bliss. Musica-san was right. I opened Pandora's box. I was a fool.
頼むよ。言ってくれ。嘘でもいいから。放送だって言ってよ。
残念だが、すべて真実だ。
Sawada has no mercy. He completely ignores my pleas.
そもそも君島公が生きている可能性について私に言及したのは瀬宮だった。今にして思えばそれを瀬宮が話したことで私は完全に彼女のことを信じてしまった。そうして共に協力して君島公の痕跡を追っていながら瀬宮は私に巧みに偽の情報を提供し続けたというわけだ。通りで3年近く探し続けても見つからないわけだ。私も十分滑稽だよ。君島公は実に効果的に情報を誘導した。それにまんまと乗せられてしまったのが君だ。ヤシオカイト。
Now we can feel terrible together.
責めているわけではない。沈黙の兵器が相手では私でも抗えなかっただろう。君島レポートもまた世界を騙すためのプロパガンダだった。君島公が無造作にばらまいた情報は今やそれに踊らされた人々によって世界中に増殖し拡散され続けている。その過程で肥大化し尾ひれがつき、噂話は都市伝説からやがて地球規模の陰謀論にまで発展した。
Gets people going all crazy like.
憶測は憶測を呼び、何が真実なのかを曖昧にして情報の海の中に覆い隠してしまう。そうして世界を騙し、人々の疑心暗鬼を徹底的に呼び覚まし、極限まで高まったある一点において炸裂させる。その象徴がグランドオベリスクであり、お台場崩壊だった。実際、今日世界中で起きたとされる天災は何一つとして起きていない。太陽嵐も来ていない。起きたのはお台場で瀬宮美が操縦するハグが暴走したこと、お台場にいる人々が全員同じ幻覚を見ていること、イルオに崩壊したお台場の偽画像がアップされたこと、世界各地の大都市で原因不明の停電が起きていること、無数のデマがネット上に出回っていること、そしてそのデマをマスコミがさも本当のことのように繰り返し流し続けていること、一部でロボットの AI が乗っ取られ 去年のように反乱が起きているようだが、その規模は不明だ。あとは全て情報に踊らされた人々が巻き起こした騒動だ。世界中がたった一人の男に踊らされているんだ。
I mean, it really is
何の
smart.
目的で
It is fucking brilliant how he went about it. Because, yeah, sure, the last bit of the reports here saying that what's going to happen here in 2020 is basically what it is appearing, or what it's all appearing to look like on the media. However, as we just, we're told, none of that's happening. None of that is absolutely happening. But because everybody's read those reports, because of what they're seeing online, there you go. Chaos everywhere across the world. Everybody believes the same thing.
この騒乱の目的はただ一つ。プロジェクトアトムの完遂だ。そのためには種子島から世界中の目をそらす必要がある。
たったそれだけのためにこんな大げさなことを。
だがその目論見はまんまと成功したと言える。世界中の軍も警察もこの騒乱を鎮めることに手一杯だ。世界を滅亡させかねないロケットが今にも発射されようとしているのに、在日米軍ならば沖縄から向かえば制圧は一瞬だろう。だがそれができない。今種子島のロケットの危険性について知っているのは敵以外ではおそらく私と君だけだ。そして我々に取れる手立てはない。私もこの怪我だ。
Looking closer, I noticed that his face has gone even paler. He said he performed emergency treatment on himself, but there's a pool of blood spreading out underneath him.
あんた本当に大丈夫なの？
少なくともしばらくはまともに動けなさそうだ。だが心配しなくていい。私がくたばるまでになんとか仲間に連絡は取ってみるつもりだ。頼りになる連中だからな。残り時間は少ないが伝えることさえできればなんとかしてくれるかもしれん。君は自分のしたことについてあまり気にするな。君島公はたまたま君を標的にしただけだ。もし君が奴の策略に引っかからなかったとしても、他の誰かが新たなターゲットになり、同じように君島レポートは拡散されていただろう。
でも君島公はターゲットに俺を選んだ。ミサ姉だってそれを知ってて君島公に味方した。
I chased her all this time. Misane was always my goal. But she's...
帰らなくちゃ。種子島に帰らなくちゃ。
だがその方法はどうするつもりだ？
I don't know, swim?
わからないけどさ。今あのロケット発射を止められるのは俺だけなんでしょ。俺がなんとかしないと。
For some reason, a dry laugh escapes my mouth. I don't feel like I've been betrayed. This was all on me for placing my own expectations on her. And who knows, maybe Misane doesn't think that she's betrayed us at all. The true identity of this emotion that's been smoldering at the bottom of my heart.
悔しい。そうだよ。悔しいんだ。
I worked so hard to catch up to her. I thought I was close. If I ran after her for just a little longer, I'd finally reach her. But now that I'm finally here, I discovered that she never thought of me as anything more than an NPC, one that had outlived its use and was thrown away a long time ago. And that frustrates me to no end.
だから俺が止めてやる。そうしないと気が済まない。
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, buddy. I really don't think you can stop it.
気に食わない。気に入らない。やられたままで泣き寝入りなんてできないし。
I'm frustrated. Hell, I'm pissed. And the only way for me to turn it around is to take my one chance and make a comeback.
君島公が敵だろうが味方だろうがどうでもいい。ミサ姉の真意もどうでもいい。勝負を仕掛けられたんだ。こっちを騙して知らないうちに勝負に持ち込まれてたんだ。その売られた勝負、負けっぱなしじゃ終わらせられないでしょうが。これは全員以上をかけた勝負でもあるんだ。
I mean, I dig the enthusiasm, but again, I'm like, I'm pretty pessimistic here. I think we're fucked.
君は
When I glance over at Sawada, he looks genuinely surprised.
俺はどんな手を使ってでも島に戻る。
Now I've got a day to figure something out. Sawada quietly chuckles and shrugs his shoulders.
もし島に戻るつもりならそれを持っていけ。
Sawada points at a knapsack with an NIV device inside.
電磁波照射装置。
それ単体では役に立たない。スロットに専用のカートリッジを刺さなければ動かないだろう。だがもし使えるようになれば大きな武器になる。相手も人間だ。電磁波をぶつければ何らかの幻覚を見せられる可能性がある。
Yeah, that sounds a little familiar, doesn't it?
有効活用しろ。
Good use, huh? I pick up the knapsack and sling it over my shoulder. I then remove the handgun from my pocket and place it at Sawada's feet.
返すよ。俺のゲームには必要ないもんだから。
そうか。
Sawada doesn't even look at the gun.
もし種子島に無事に戻れたならコードネーム S ブラウンによろしく伝えておいてくれ。
Oh, of course, no worries.
S ブラウン。誰？
本名は私も知らない。仲間の一人だがオンラインだけの付き合いでな。
No way, so she's actually a part of the gang.
君とも面識があると言っていた。
Well, it's nice to know that a lot of the characters, or quite a few very notable ones, are, sticking together
一応覚えとくよ。
against the one cause, the one enemy that is in all of these games here. After shooting him a response, I exit the expo arena without looking back. It's also nice to know that she's actually on our side this time around.